I'd like to welcome the Skokomish and River Road and Youth Canoe families to come upon the floor and bless you with their singing, their dancing, and their testimonies.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. We're glad to be here. We would like to say thank you for the Muckleshoot tribe for welcoming us here and making us feel at home while we're here. We're grateful for that. We are taught that when we wake up in the morning, we should be grateful. When we wake up in the morning, we should be thankful that we woke up. When we wake up in the morning, we should be thankful that we woke up in a warm, safe place. We should be thankful that we woke up in a family that loves us, that we woke up in a community that loves us, that we woke up in a community that has been through a lot, but they're still hanging in there yet. And so we're grateful every day for waking up and being safe. I'm Sialakwap. My English name is Gary Peterson. I'm from the Skokomish tribe. I was born at home on the reservation and have been a lifelong resident, except for military service and education and employment. We're the River Road canoe family. We named our canoe after the road on the reservation where our elders used to live. That road is no longer habitable. Our old people is where our weavers were. Many of our spiritual leaders lived on that road, but it's not there anymore. You can't get through it to live there anymore. But that's where we honored our elders with the name of the canoe. We're also the Moosamoose canoe. The Moosamoose is a canoe that was named after one of our elders who passed away. And in honor of his passing, some of our carvers in our tribe carved a canoe, and it's a youth canoe. So both of these canoes are youth canoes, and our aim is to make sure, number one, that these young people know for certain that they're loved. Know for certain that they're lovable. Know for certain that in our community, if they have a need, if they have something they want to talk about, they can come to anybody in our community because they love them. And we know that because of the boarding school experience, that love isn't an easy word that comes to many of our families. In many of our communities, in many of our families, we grew up not hearing the word, I love you. Something as simple as that. Many of our parents and grandparents grew up without somebody tucking them in at night, without somebody reading them a bedtime story, without giving them a good night hug or a good night kiss. And we encourage, and we hope that all of our parents are doing that today. We want to make sure that these young people learn about the sacred. There's more to pulling on the journey than just being in a canoe. Pulling all day, we want them to understand why they're there, why they're doing that. We want them to understand that when they're on the water and when we're here, we're breathing the breath of our ancestors. Our ancestors left their breath, and we're, next generation, are using that breath, and we're going to leave that breath for the generation following us. And so we want to make sure that the breath that we leave is pure, that there isn't any drugs or anything, no drugs or alcohol on it. So one of the things we want them to understand about pulling on the canoe is that you don't do those things because you're leaving it for the next generation. We also want them to understand that when they're on the canoe, they're the closest they will ever be to their ancestors, maybe except for sunset. But because they're so close, that might be a time when the ancestors might want to give them a song, might want to give them a message, might want to give them a story. But if they're just goofing around on the canoe, if they're not paying attention, if they're not being observant, they might miss that message, that song that the ancestors were giving them. So we're trying to, number one, understand it ourselves. Number two, make sure that our youth understand it so they can live it and so they can pass it on to the next generation. On the journey, we paddled from Skokomish, and we're one of the closest tribes, I guess. So we did some work with our youth, and I will say that in this youth elders connection, we're just really happy to be learning the things that we're learning as elders from our young people, from our young pullers, and seeing them grow and develop and mature. And they're finding out often that they're a lot stronger than they thought they were. They're finding out that they can pull for 8 hours, which they might not have thought they could do when they first started out. So many of our canoe pullers are young people. They are, some of them pulled for the first time on this journey. Some of them pulled for the first time at a distance, for a great distance, and found out that they could do it. And if they can do this, they can do many other things that they may not have found out that they could do. So we're trying to teach them not just the skill and not just the protocol of the journey, but also what it means. So when they're out here on the floor today, it means something. They're not just dancing. They're doing it for another purpose, a sacred purpose. When they're out here on the floor, this is a sacred place. So we want them to understand that they conduct themselves in a good way when they're in a sacred space. So we've been doing this for our canoe is fairly new. We've been doing it just for the last 4 or 5 years. And we've learned a lot. These young people have taught us a lot. And we're grateful to them for being willing to stick with us and to teach us as we go along. I would also like to say that I'm a board member of the National Indian Child Welfare Association, and we just won a Supreme Court case regarding our children. The Supreme Court upheld our sovereignty for one. And they upheld our right to make decisions about, as Indian people, what should happen to our own children. It wasn't always like that. We didn't have a voice in it, but we do now. And the National Indian Child Welfare Association coordinates the fight that we're involved in and have been involved in for a long time and will continue to be involved in. We won a Supreme Court case, but that doesn't mean it's over. Our adversaries aren't going to give up. They want our kids, and they're still getting them, and we're resisting. But NICWA, the National Indian Child Welfare Association, coordinates the fight with the Native American Rights Fund, the National Congress of American Indians, the American Association on Indian Affairs, the Affiliated Tribes of Northwest Indians, a lot of national organizations that are speaking up on behalf of our children and saying you can't have them. They belong here. They belong with us. And I bring that up because I would just like to acknowledge the Muckleshoot tribe. The Muckleshoots have been one of doing these kinds of things takes money. It's expensive to stay in a fight like this, and it's a fight that you can't walk away from. And the Muckleshoot tribe has supported our efforts to protect our children for years. They're generous with their support to enable us to stay in the fight to protect our children. And in this area, the Muckleshoot tribe and the Puyallup tribe have been very supportive of our efforts and given us the tools that we need to stay in this fight. And we know that the American Academy of Adoption Attorneys and the Goldwater Foundation haven't given up. And they seem to think that if they can get at our children, they can get at our sovereignty. So there's much more at stake in this than just what we're doing with our kids. So we're grateful to the Muckleshoot Council and to the Puyallup Council. We raise our hands to them in respect. We're grateful to them for the support they've given us. So I guess that's all I have to say. I am done. Oh, who is going to introduce that? Wasn't Emily going to introduce it? Emily? Where's Emily?
Lock in, Gary.
Okay, we're gonna begin with our some of our songs and dances, and the butterfly song is one that is our children begin learning this dance in Head Start. This is a song and a dance that is important in this community, Skokomish community. Our Head Start kids and our kindergarten kids, and then in the community, they learn the song and learn to do the butterfly dance. So this is our butterfly dance. Sean, who was going to introduce the next one?
She's gonna be your mom.
What?
She said she's gonna be your mom.
Oh. What's the next song?
We're doing the Eagle one?
I don't know. So we're going to have another introduction from one of our canoe family for the next song that we're going to do. And again, these are songs that are learned in our community from a young age for many of our younger Head Start kids and kindergarten kids. So, Emily, Winona, are you going to introduce it?
I sure am. Good morning, everyone. La Hope is the next teacher. A lot of the songs and dances you'll see us do are part of our old Tawana dancers. Some of your older ones might know those. Our dances are actually tell the story of the beginning of time. I'm out of breath. But that was a butterfly, and that was just an introduction. There's more to that. But it's important we get everything right for the young people. When Dukweboth was coming to make changes of the earth when he created, he saw the animal people breaking the vows of lust, hate, jealousy, and greed. As he come to see the animal people, he witnessed jealousy. The bird people envious of their colors or how they swam. It hurt him that the vows would be broken, that he created death. The first one to experience death was Caterpillar. Caterpillar lost his mate. He cried and cried. He didn't know what to do, how to get past the grief and sorrow. That Dukweboth had him go into a cocoon. So that he could grieve, learn to grieve. We felt that it was fitting to add this to Canoe Journey as we traveled. There have been losses, great losses within our communities. We heard every day a prayer for somebody that was lost, that we hope that this dance will give a peace of mind that it's okay to grieve, how to grieve in your own way. So when he came out, Butterfly came out, he's bright and beautiful. And to this day, Butterfly still comes out of his cocoon of mourning. So you'll see our tribe here doing our dances that represent our legends, our stories, our true life. And it would take a lifetime to discuss everything. But they tell of the beginning of time and why we grieve, why we do certain things culturally. Why do we not film? Why are we quiet? Why do we turn on the floor? Why do we turn off the floor? Our dancers are telling the story of protocol. OCM.
My wife said to me one time that Indians are the only people who don't look down when they pray. And I said, well, who told you that? And she said, your father. And so I began thinking of my dad, my father, and the boarding school. And there were chimes for them to come into the chow hall. There were chimes for them to be silent. There were chimes for them to sit down, bow their heads, and pray. And so we began thinking about all of those things that were taken from us. And in our cultures, oftentimes we use the word lost, that we lost some of our culture, we lost some of our language, we lost a lot of things. But we didn't lose them. They were taken from us. And with these young people, we're taking them back again. So when we think about praying, we don't think about bowing our head. We think about doing it the way our ancestors did. With their hands up and looking to the sky. We talked about the sacredness of women. I was at I heard a woman speaking one time, and she talked about a gathering that she was at, and there was a young man that came to her and pointed to a young girl across the way, and he said, I'd like to get to know her. And this elder said to him, I want you to go around there and stand by her, and just stand by her. Don't say anything, don't do anything, just stand by her. And he said pretty soon she will understand that he is standing by the sacred, that his view of women is that they are sacred. And so he did that, and it worked out for him. But we talk about the need to protect our women, and when we stand in a circle, usually the women are on the inside, and that's for a purpose. That's because they're sacred. That's because they're going to give us the next generation. We also talked about some of the things that we do and without even thinking about why we're doing it, and this is one of them. Clapping. Where does that come from? When we paddled here, we passed the point no point. We passed point no point, and we're signers of the point no point treaty. And I don't think that our ancestors sitting around there or in any meeting of Indian people, when somebody said something that was important, do you think they did that? Probably not. What do you think they would have done?
Aho.
Aho. They would have done a vocable. And it would probably be different in many of our communities. And they would do it while the person was talking so that the person would know that they were on the right track. So somebody from the audience would say, aho. They would have done it with their voice, not just at the end, but throughout the presentation, throughout the talk. Aho, speak those words for me. You're saying my words, keep speaking them. You're doing good. So we begin thinking about this dynamic of clapping. And in this reclaiming process, we say that our culture wasn't lost. It was taken, and it was put to sleep. And our work, and I think that's why they call it, we've got some work to do. Our work is to wake it up, which you're seeing here today with our young people. And some of these young kids, there won't be a day in their life when they don't remember that there was a drum, that there was a song, that there was a dance. They'll think it had always been there. These canoes weren't on the water for over 100 years because the colonizers convinced many Indian people that wasn't a good thing to do. As a matter of fact, they convinced them that it was evil. And even today, in some communities, there are Indian people that won't allow their community members to be in a canoe because it was evil, and the colonizers convinced them of that. So we're in the process of saying that we can't let the colonizers win, that we have to take back our culture in our way for our purposes. Can I get an aho for that? Aho. Yes.
The song that we just sang was the Changer song, and it's used widely around the Northwest here. It was from the Miller family. Sobier, Bruce Miller, brought out that song, and it's about changing and transforming, and the Creator helping us along our way.
So we're inviting anyone down who wants to join us for the pheasant song, any youth or anyone, if you want to go line up and come down.
We're going to sing the pheasant song. This is a song that was taught to us by our grandfather, Joe Andrews, and it was taught to him by Henry Allen. To squally way, hey, how you way, hey. The Dabob, our mountains have a lot of pheasants, wild pheasants. And of course, if you know Dabob Bay and our mountains, you know there's a north wind and a south wind. So this is what this song represents, the pheasant song.
As you can see, that is probably a dance for young people. They come off huffing and puffing after they do that a few times. We've got somebody that's going to introduce our next dance, which is the women's dance, women's song.
Hey, Trouble Journeys, how's it going? So this next song is for appreciation of all of our women. I grew up with a lot of women. But you gotta respect them. They're the ones that keep our families and our everything going, so you gotta take care of them. This song is by Bruce Miller. Winona and Chris and Kimberly Miller are the caretakers of it. So, enjoy it. Thank you. Man on this side.
So can we get an ahoy? Aho, aho. Good, good, good. Next, we're going to have Rita Andrews come and tell us about it, our next song. Rita is one of the people that we turn to for guidance and teaching. A River Road Canoe is blessed to have elders, have older people in our community who are willing to teach these young people. And you see, as they go around, some of the very young people. I was looking at one of our pullers, and I think it was his first time, and he's not very big, and he's not one of those big muscular guys. He's kind of a small guy. And he pulled for 8 hours, and he still wanted to keep going after we got done with that. So that's the kind of thing that they learned about being strong, can do more and are stronger than they thought they were. So is Rita here?
Right here.
Right behind me? Oh.
Let's give it up for Rita Andrews.
Is it on? Hello? Okay. Well, this song is going to be a little bit difficult. It's the first time we shared it at a group this large. It was a song that was pretty much, I would say, hidden. My father gave it to me spiritually from the other side. I heard him sing it. And so I kept care of it for a few years, and then he told me I have to share it. But the song is about a family, a tribe, what you call one family, brothers and sisters, and so it's in our language, Dakas Alish. And it says Dakas Alish is stobj, 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 means strong. Strong, strong. And so as the song goes on, it's the women that lead the way, and we go in front, and we're clearing the whole land or wherever we're at. We're clearing it, making it ready for the family to come. After the women clean it and sweep it, you might say, then the children come and stand alongside the women. And then the men are supposed to dance towards the line because they're the warriors. They're coming and they're being fierce because whatever might try to block our way, they're going to take care of it. So they got to put their mean mugs on. You got to try to intimidate whatever's on the other side, what we don't know. So we go along and we claim this land, and then at the end we sing the victory song, and that's when we do our war whoop and all together. And we claim it by we dancing all over. You don't have to stay in line. You dance all over. And then when you exit, or where you go where you are, the ladies are the last because they have to clear and make sure nothing follows us. So we'll try it. It's our first time to really try it, so hope it works out. Woo! Are they on the other side to come this way? All the dancers come out down here. All the women.
All the women dancers, Skokomish in the back there, come out front. Come out here. All right. Good job, Emily. Next is the Eagle song, the Iwala song. We learned this song from Grandpa Joe. And he learned it from, again, Henry Allen, Grandpa Henry Allen. He used to sing this song with a pot and a wooden spoon. I always have to say this. You know, our grandmother was a shaker, a serious shaker. She was very serious about her shaking, her lifestyle. And they weren't allowed to have drums because drums are alive. So we used to practice this song in our grandparents' front yard around an apple tree. Just picture it, with a wooden spoon and a pot. Iwala, wa'ana, zigzag, lightning, wa'ana, wa'ana. Grandpa said they used to sing that song for hours and hours and hours at Potlatch State Park. All the families would take turns singing and dancing for hours.
So I said earlier that when we paddled up here from Skokomish, we came up Hood Canal. It's a 90-mile-long body of water. And when the Point-No-Point Treaty was signed, we gave up 6 million acres of land in that treaty signing. And we don't say we lost that land, we say that land was taken away from us. 6 million acres, and we got a 5,000-acre reservation at the mouth of the Skokomish River. And after the treaty, the state of Washington declared that the Hood Canal, where our fishing grounds, was a conservation area, and they wouldn't allow any fishing in that area. And what do you suppose some of our fishermen did? They kept right on fishing. Yes. And we owe a great debt to those people that did that. They kept right on fishing and hunting, even though state regulations said that we weren't allowed to do that, that they were closed. And when you read the information on the Bolt decision and on hunting cases, at Skokomish, they always mention 2 or 3 people's names. Dennis Allen, Ron Twitty, Johnny Smith, and the language that they used was known game violators, poachers. They called them poachers for hunting and fishing the way our people had always hunted and fished. And we're grateful to them for the bravery, the courage that it took for them to go against state regulations. And I'd like to ask Ron Twitty to stand up. He's right back here. Would you stand up, Ron? He's saying no. He's one of our fishermen that defied state regulations. Aho, aho. He's also one of the people that got our canoe on the water. We didn't have a pickup to tow it around, and Ron would tow it everywhere for us. And when we got it, we didn't do anything for a couple of years, and he finally told me that if you don't do something with that canoe, I'm going to start planting flowers in it. So we got busy right away and did something with it. So we owe Ron Twitty and many of the people like him who fought for our fishing rights, even when it was the state said we didn't have a right to do it. And they stood up to them and said, yes, we do. We will continue to do this. Was that the last song?
I'm introducing. Right now we're going to do the giveaway song. I'm going to ask Delbert Miller, Indian named Smutkum, to start it off for us.
all of us at Skokomish, at the village. We're in it for the future. We're in it for the youth. So our young people have selected some gifts, painted some gifts, made some gifts for the future from your canoe families. When we say a prayer that begins our work, one of the lines is, transform the past into the future through a prism of caring. Each of us knows who we have been before. Each of us knows who we could become tomorrow. And that's with our spirit with which we're doing this work with our young people. It's an honor to work with these young artists, these young geniuses. Many of them are gatherers. They're learning basketry. They're learning how to carve. They're learning how to hand tool. And they could not do this without the elders and their parents who've gone before to learn a skill and bring it back to the village. I'm Tuni Moose. I married into the Skokomish to the village of Skokomish. I'm Chehalis, Nisqually, Potawatomi, Sac and Fox. This event feeds my Indian to see your faces, to see the regalia, to hear the songs, to hear the language. Many of us work at institutions that are all non-Indian. Many of our young people go to schools that are all non-Indian. And this moment will carry them into their futures this year until we meet again at the next journey. So that's what I mean about feeding our Indian, is to pull the energy, the good thoughts, the good prayers into the future. We have 4 drums that have been painted during camp. If they would step forward. Two of them are red.
Where's the drums at?
One has paddles along the outside. Okay, I guess I need to look to see where the drums are. I don't know. So are there 2 drums in here? We gave them all out? Wow. Okay, so I guess we're only going to honor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 youth. Would the cedar step forward with the hat? Am I saying the right name? Cedar? No, because it would be given away.
That's right. Where's Cedar?
Okay. And you're giving the hat right now. Oh, so the hat's already been given. So now we will honor 4 youth. So if you have young people in your group that are joining the journey for their first time, if you would send a youth out and stand with one of the youth from Skokomish River Road. And a drum has been offered also, so we need a youth. Would you, Tommy, would you come forward? So stand right here. Grandparents, push one of your youth forward to come forward to get one of the gifts. First come, first serve, scramble. Stand in front of one of the gifts. The Seahawks medallion, stand in front of one of the gifts. The Seahawks medallion by Angel Van Brunt. One of the hats donated from the audience. And there are 3 more. We have a box. You have to stand by one of the gifts. Youth, yes. Are you bringing forward a youth? Oh, no. They have to be present to win.
Oh, okay.
Tell them to get up. And there's 2 more and 1 right here. Well, then stand in front of one of the gifts. Okay, present the gift to the youth. All righty, thank you. Aho. Thank you. Go ahead and present it to the youth. All righty, thank you. Aho, aho.
I'd just like to quickly say that this is the young man that I was mentioning who found out that he could paddle for 8 hours a day, and he wanted to keep going. He wanted to keep pulling. Go ahead and go back. Go ahead and go back. Okay. Okay. We have a couple of more special presentations that we would like to make. When I used to do presentations and talk about Indian history and talk about the wars, the Indian wars that went on, I used to get to 1891 in that talk and mention Geronimo and his surrender. He surrendered to the cavalry and gave up the fight in 1891. And I used to say that that ended Indian resistance. And then I met Ramona Bennett from the Puyallup tribe, and I realized there isn't an ounce of give in that woman. And I know that Indian resistance is still going on today, that we never did give up. We never did stop resisting, and if we're doing our jobs as elders, the next generation isn't going to give up either. They're going to continue to resist colonization. And so we'd like to make these presentations to people, to a couple of tribes who are fierce, and were fierce in their defense of Indian fishing rights. They were fighters. They fought, they were courageous, they were brave, and they didn't give it up. And they were also fought courageously for our children, to protect our children and make sure that our kids had the right to be raised by their family, to be raised in their communities, to participate in events like this. So we would like to make these presentations to the Muckleshoot Tribal Council. Muckleshoot has been a big supporter of Indian children and Indian fishing rights. We have a lot to learn. We're doing hand signs here to figure out how we're going to execute the... Here he comes. And this one is the next one. Do you have a few words you'd like to say?
Our existence is our resistance. Bottom line, the Indian rights movement was born and bred on the waterways of the lands from which we as Salish Sea people and people of the Pacific Northwest have lived since time immemorial. Our elders, people who walk amongst us today, people who our young people can talk to within the bleachers of this event, are the keepers of that history. Make sure our children tap into those resources. Make sure our children speak with those people who have fought for everything we have today. My hands are raised to every one of those warriors who fought for us in the fish wars. Thank you for your service. Thank you for everything you've done. Without you, we aren't us. Hands raised. Thank you.
Thank you. The next one is for the Puyallup tribe, the tribal council. They also have supported, well, probably leaders in the fishing rights dispute and in protecting our children. Is there a Puyallup council member? or somebody that could accept this on their behalf? Uh-oh, somebody just walked by trying to look. We always say it's a good time to avoid eye contact.
Hachlahel. I'm Yuzuri Hilliard. I work with our Historic Preservation Department, and on behalf of Puyallup Tribe, thank you so much for honoring us, and I will make sure that this gets to council for you all.
Hi guys, my name's Olivia Lungshire, and my mom name's Alicia Lungshire, and we live both together with my sister.
It's working. Go ahead.
Did this?
What?
Did this?
That's it.
Oh, wow.
Ah.
Did this?
See, that's you.
He.
See right back there, too? Back there on TV? That's you.
Yeah.
Okay, we're nearing the end here, and I would just like to say that I can't do this work. I can't do ceremonies like this. I can't do dances and hear the singers and especially the young people without almost crying. And it makes my heart feel happy. It makes my heart feel good. And sometimes when you cry, it's because you're happy. And being happy, number one, is seeing our young people and our elders that are coming together. We do an exercise where we talk about the everything that held us together, being in the middle, and the children around it, the elders around them, the women around them, the men around them. And then the first thing that the colonizers did was reach in and take away all of those cultural values that we had. And then they reached in and took away the children. And it really caused a lot of disarray in our communities. And we're putting that all back together again, and that's what makes me happy. What makes me want to cry when I see these young people showing up time after time to do the work that needs to be done. So we need to give the elders and the children and the men and the women in our communities a good aho for all the work that they have done to make sure that this gets done. Aho!
Hi, my name is Naomi Johns-Kopoman, and I first want to say that this is our paddle song, and it's been around for a long time. And the two people who brought it to us were Leona and Bruce Miller. And we're still using it to this day. And these youth right here, us younger generation, are still using it. We're still singing it. And we're proud to have it with us. I would also like to ask permission to leave ashore and sing our paddle song.
Good morning. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, just a minute. I did make a mistake, and we wanted to do an honoring of our veterans, so we'll do that right now, and then we'll do the paddle song. I think she might have thought of something she wanted to say.
And we are going to the house home.
Yay.
Hello, my name's Ed Green, and I'm I guess a past captain. I'm still part-time captain. We're kind of out of order here a little bit, but we're still doing it. We're here today, past, future, and present, to honor our vets. You know, we have our future and we have our past. I'd like to honor Gary Peterson as a vet, and Ron Twitty as a vet. They fought in World War I. Gary fought in Vietnam. And I'd like to honor my brother, Wayne James. He's from Muckleshoot. He's a vet from Vietnam. And we have our past, we have our present, and we have our future. And we honor Muckleshoot and what they're doing for our children today. And my hands are up to you guys. It touches me. We went through this water. We went through life and death experiences. We had some nice weather. We had some good weather, bad weather. And my hands are up to you. And Marie. And Lucille. Any more? Woo!
Hi guys, well, I said it wrong, I'm sorry. Well, can I say this here? Well, my mom 13 and I'm 6 years old and my little sister is 3 and I take care of her all my heart and I love her. I keep all my sisters all night and my sisters all night and I always.
Just want to say Hat'l'adatu, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much to our Skokomish River Road canoe family. You all have done a beautiful job today of opening the floor, and so my hands are raised to each and every one of you. And thank you so much for honoring our veterans, our elders, and of course our young children, our youth. And so it's very uplifting, very, very heartwarming to see each and every one of you do this work today. And so with that, before I turn it over to our leadership to grant you permission to leave our shores, I do want to turn it over to our language sisters. They have some giveaway items for you before you depart. So thank you so much, and I'll turn it over. Like I said, we have Olivia and her language sisters here.
Hey, Macho Man.
Good morning, my family, my relatives. My name is Sichuk Aid. My English name is Olivia Corville. I wanted to come up here and say thank you for your songs and your dance and your teachings this morning. I heard, I really appreciated the teachings that you were sharing today about raising our hands instead of bowing our head, using vocables instead of clapping for our people. I just wanted to special mention because that touched me, so aho. We wanted to honor you and your families today. If we could have a female and male elder from each family, either raise your hand so we can come and gift you, or step forward if you would like. So 2 female elders and 2 male elders. He's Hey Shabbat. Two male youth and 2 female youth. Please step forward. Hey Shabbat. Hey Shabbat. What was that? Oh, they went to the back. Can we have someone step up for them?
Go up there, Alicia. Grab something for him.
He's quote. He's quote. Mm-hmm. If we can have 2 male and 2 female warriors step forward, your veterans. Hey Shabbat. He's quote. A drummer and a dancer. 2 drummers, 2 dancers. Your skippers, please. 2 skippers. He's quote. Dait Hach, CIUs, and your canoe captain leaders.
That was them.
Okay, perfect. Canoe captains. Hey Shabbat. You came up here as a dancer?
There we go.
Perfect. Dait Hach, CIUs, Eglitibula Twatad Hach, Oju. Thank you for gifting us all medicine this morning. I received some nettle and spearmint tea, and that's one of my favorite mixes. So thank you for all of your songs and your dances and your teachings this morning and waking us up in a good way.
grab one?
It's good to get that business and work taken care of on the floor and to honor you as our relations. We're so incredibly moved and proud and happy that you accepted our invitation to visit our homelands here and to come ashore. That it's been so long since we've had the opportunity to come together. And as Indian people, these past 4 years as we dealt with not only the pandemic in our communities, but the worldwide pandemic, it was so against our teachings in nature that when things get hard as Indian people, we come together. And what they told us to do was to stay apart. And that was hard on our hearts, on our souls, on our spirit. And so this has been medicine for all of us to be able to share this space and share this time and come together in a good way. We thank you for everything that you've brought to our community, brought to our homeland. And because you accepted our invitation, you are now recognized as members of that community and family. We raise our hands to each and every one of you. The words shared this morning were incredibly meaningful and moving. I think particularly as we look at the theme of this year's canoe journey, honoring our warriors, both past and present. I think we've talked a lot about the history that shaped our people, how much resistance it took for us to retain that which the treaties ultimately promised us to retain, through the fight to enforce those treaties, all the way up through the work that goes on to this day. I think the words of honoring the fight that continues is so incredibly meaningful and important, and I thank you for them. My hands are raised. It's with joy that I'm able to share with you this morning. It's such an incredibly powerful day in that way. And we, of course, hope that you'll honor the rest of the time that we have together, and you'll stay and enjoy the time that we have. But when ready, you certainly have permission to untie and to leave our shores, but just don't do it too quickly. Thank you very much.
I want to say one thing before we leave. We want to honor a new puller in our canoe family. Bunny Wilbur, you want to come out here? And she always wanted to come on canoe journeys, but she always was at Sundance. But she was able to make it this time. We stuck her in the canoe. We kept telling her, take a break, take a break. We seen it in her eyes. She didn't want to take a break. She was doing this for herself. She was healing herself, you know, and I witnessed it. So I just wanted to honor her and let her know that she is now a part of this family, a canoe family. These canoe families are strong. They're tough. We're coming back. We're reclaiming. And it was her birthday last week, so I want everybody to sing her happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bonnie. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, buddy. We love you.
Now we're going to exit with the paddle song.
You guys want to wheel those over there? Alan? You guys want to wheel those over there? We're going to have to follow behind them after in it. When we leave, we'll follow them out. Put those over there.
Staratu. Good morning, everyone. Madreen White seeds the Muckleshoot Chud. My name is Madreen White, and I'm a Muckleshoot tribal member. I'd like to welcome you all here this morning, and I want to raise my hands to our relatives, the Skokomish River Road Canoe family, for opening the floor today. So grateful that you were here to share with us your songs, your dances, those beautiful teachings and stories. We appreciate each and every one of you for your dedication to our culture and our community. And it was a beautiful sight, and I'll be forever grateful to have witnessed that.